Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we have something just slightly different from what we've normally done in the past. So in my comments recently, a lot of people have been wanting me to break down very specific instances instead of entire matches. So in this one, this is a video I uploaded yesterday. And on the second hardpoint, while Chicago has spawns and control of the hill, Dallas does something to counter that. That's not only super smart, but it also goes a long way towards helping them win this game by a pretty large margin. Just to go ahead and set the tone for what's happening right now in this match, just in case you didn't see yesterday's video. If you didn't see it, I'll go ahead and I'll put a card up on screen right now, so maybe you can watch that first before you get into this one. But essentially, Dallas spawned with spawn logic that you wanted for the second hardpoint. So not only are they getting the vast majority of the points inside the first hardpoint, but they're also holding down spawns as Chicago tries to challenge them to rotate spawns towards the second hardpoint. If we're watching what Formal's doing on screen right now, he's going to try to contest this just so that they're not giving up the vast majority, 40-50 points in this first hardpoint. But as you can see, Chicago basically goes all down, and this is about as disastrous as a start as you could think of if you're a fan of Chicago Huntsmen. So as we go ahead and we look on screen here, let's think about this. So not only are they spawning out, but Formal's going to end up going top blue here. He has what looks to be a fairly easy kill here. I think that's Hugh. Yeah, it is on Hugh, and he doesn't end up finishing it. And when he comes back in, they're going to spawn on this water's edge here. And this is absolutely not the side that you want to spawn on. And I'm going to explain that more in depth in a private match in just a second. So as they go ahead, they push through. Formal and Scump end up teaming up on that kill. Scump ends up finishing this second hill, and he goes ahead and he's able to get inside the hard point. Now, as that's happening, there's nobody else back here to hold spawns for Dallas. So right now, Chicago has not only hill control, but they're also spawning in this back corner. So if you're thinking about this from a larger standpoint, this is absolutely perfect. They have hill and they have spawns. But what Dallas does is they end up countering this, and they end up setting up choke points in which they don't allow Chicago to get back into the hill from that spawn location where they're at. So as we're watching this on screen, you can see that, yeah, Formal's getting the spawns that he wants to get over and over again, but they're having a hard time capitalizing on that map location and getting the full points in that hard point. Now, just to clarify this just a little bit more, I want to go ahead, I want to run back that 40 or 50 seconds just so that we can clearly see what's happening, so that when I jump into a private match, we can explain this just a little bit better. So right now, again, Dallas is trying to push the hill. Scump ends up getting 2, Arcity spawns in the hill, and Formal ends up spawning back in that back location where you want to spawn. Now, as they're trying to get from that back location into the hill, there's these cutoffs which don't allow them to get into the hill. So even though they're spawning like 15 feet away, the main ARs in CLAYSTER and CRIMSIX aren't allowing them to cross the road and get into the hill. This is a huge issue, and this is something that should be able to be countered easily. We're going to talk about how to counter that in just a second. If we're thinking about overall score here, it's like 91-3, whereas at the beginning of this hardpoint, they had spawns and they had positioning. So leaving this hill with like a 90-10 deficit is just a huge mistake. So with that in mind, let's go ahead, let's hop into a private match and just explain what the heck we just saw. Alright, so as we go ahead and we hop into St Petrograd here, this is where the first hardpoint location was. So Dallas had control of this hardpoint, but they also had control of this bar area. So they were holding down top bar, they also had bottom bar, which is why when Formal died in the middle of the map, he spawned on water's edge over there. So first of all, let's talk about why this is the side that you don't want to spawn on. So as you're trying to cross, not only as you're trying to cross, do you have no cover here, right? You can't run out. It's not like there's trash cans here that you can head glitch on and kind of win these gun battles. You have no cover, so you have to cross this when everybody's going to be posted up here and on the car and kind of all over the place. So not only do you have no cover, but as you try to get into the hard point when you slide in here, there's one door. So you have one way to get into this hard point. So what most teams will try to do is maybe throw a smoke down this mid street, so that way you can try to get into the hard point through this choke point and through that back. So if you hit it from 2 ways, that's a little bit better obviously than hitting it from 1 way, but either or, this is not where you want to try to be running through. So what teams like to do is they like to push out this back bar area so that they can have this spawn, so that now not only can you enter from all these different ways, so here on this side door, back through the back, through this mid street, but you can also set up head glitches so that you can easily get kills as the enemy team tries to cross here. There have been multiple times playing Hardpoint where I've gotten my streaks just from sitting here, killing people as they go ahead and run across. So what Chicago ended up doing is they went ahead and they were able to flip spawns. So they got control of the hill and they were able to spawn right here. But as you saw in that clip a couple times, they were unable to cross this street. So to get from here to there or there without being killed first. So let's talk about how Dallas went ahead and they countered that. If we go on this side of the map, remember, Dallas had control of this first hard point. So as they start flooding the hill, this is where they're going to be coming from. So there's a couple things you can do at this point. You can go through bottom bar, you can climb up to top bar, or what their ARs elected to do, specifically CLAYSTER and CRIMSIX decided to set up. And CLAYSTER was right here. This isn't even a good head glitch, right? You can't even like hide most of your body behind this truck. You're just kind of sitting right here. So what he did is he just posted up here, and as they started running out from back bar, he was just getting these kills as they're trying to cross. At the beginning of that clip, you might have noticed that Formal was back in the back and he was shooting Huke, who was right here. So as CLAYSTER and CRIMSIX were there shooting towards the back, Huke was set up here shooting people that were coming out of sidebar. So this is about as good of a spawn trap as you can get. They're spawning back here in this corner, and they're not letting them through bar, and they're not letting them cross the street. The other place where they were set up was inside top 2 over here, so if we run up here and go up the stairs, they were set up here. So you can set up in this top back window, get people as they're trying to cross. You can set up on that brown car like Huke was, trying to get people as they run from bottom. And there's even more places you could be, right? You could be back here, you could set up, you could try to get kills like this. The only thing is, as you get further away, it's a little bit harder to get all of your shots on target, but these are pros, so they should be able to make that happen. The last thing that I'll talk about is that there was one person in hill. So Illy was able to sneak through, come through here, and get into hill as Chicago was being spawn trapped, trying to get out of their spawn. So what Illy was doing is he was jumped up here, and not only were they being killed from those directions, but Illy was the only person still in spawn, and he was getting kills from here. So if you're Dallas, you had a really awesome spawn trap set up, and if you're Chicago, you were just struggling. Now, there's an easy way to counter this. If you're spawning back here, you can take essentially everything out of the equation by just throwing a smoke. All you have to do is throw a smoke, and now who's going to see you? Maybe this guy, but you can easily run through this smoke and get into the hard point. So I don't know if it's a communication error. I don't know if they're just not prepared for all the different things that you can encounter in a hardpoint match, but all they had to do was look down, throw a smoke, the smoke goes off, and now you can get into the hardpoint from all these different locations. If you're all 5 spawning right here, you should have a super easy just hitting this hill, just flooding it, and killing the one person that's in there. So if I was the coach of Chicago, that's kind of what I would be focusing on at the moment, is that whoever has smokes, whether it's Scump or Envoy or one of the faster SMGs, Gunless, whoever, somebody have a smoke. So if you do start to get spawn trapped like this, you can throw your smoke, you can counter all of these head glitches, and then you can get into the hard point. So with that, guys, let me know in the comments below if you like stuff like this or not. Most of the time I end up breaking down the hardpoint rotations 1 through 5. I let you listen into what they're saying a little bit, and then we just kind of move on, and that's the rest of the map. So if you want a mix of this, maybe do this one video, and then on the next video break down the whole match or something like that, please let me know. I'm here just trying to make you guys better at Call of Duty. So if there's anything I can do as we prepare for the CDL coming up here in about a month, just let me know. I'm super excited for the CDL. I hope you guys hang around for that. It's going to be so much fun to actually break down real matches from podcasters and stuff like that. So if you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like before you head out on your way. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you, as always.